Hello everyone, it's me, DillysSims. Welcome back to my channel. Today is Speed Build Sunday, the day of the week where I build whatever I want, because I can. So, this week I built something, I want to say a little special on my channel, because it is a little special to somebody. Okay, so because I pre-record like all of my speed builds, sometimes like a week in advance. So I built this a week in advance, forgetting that Get Famous was coming out. And I was like, you know what, since I already have this made, I'm not gonna worry about getting another speed build done with the Get Famous pack. And so this is why this one has no Get Famous material in there, or objects I should say. And this build is a nice big family house. It has 3 bedrooms, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm mentally counting in my head. 4 bedrooms, and then downstairs there's a library, which could easily be renovated into another bedroom. So you can make it like 5 bedrooms if you wanted to. Like, you could fit a nice big house, move your grandparents' Sims in there, turn the study, or not the study, the library, into their bedroom, because, you know, elderly people can't walk up and down stairs, supposedly. I mean, my grandma can't. Actually, that's a lie. There are times where she can, and it boggles my mind. But I'm not here talking about my grandma. So this build, I said, was special to somebody. It's special both to me because I made it, and to one of my bestest friends, Brooklyn. Also known as Brooke, because that's her real name, but I call her Brooklyn. And so I was in a rut, and I was like, oh my gosh, Brooklyn, I don't know what I'm gonna make. What should I build? And she didn't like really give me any like input, but one of my other friends in my squad, Claire, also known as Claire Bear, was like, oh my gosh, Dylan, you should build me a house. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I was on the phone with Brooke one day, or Brooklyn, and I was like, oh my gosh. Well, actually, I was on the phone with Brooklyn talking about boy problems, because that's my life. It just consists of constant boy problems. And I was like, Brooklyn, can you give me like a list of things that you want for your house, like your dream house? I'm gonna build it in The Sims. And so like she texted me a very, very long list. Let me see if I can find it, because she texted me a real long list. I'm going through my text messages, but I fit everything except the walk-in closet in this build, which I probably could have, but it would have been like a weird shape. Or the master bedroom would have been a weird shape. Oh, and she also sent me like reference photos, which really helped me a lot. Some of the reference photos I couldn't do. Like, she wanted what would you call one of those seats by the window? A cubby seat? A seat window seat? I'm gonna call it a window seat. So she wanted like a window seat with bookshelves on the sides. And I was like, okay, I'll try. And I tried, but it didn't work out well. And I spent a lot of time on this build. Maybe because I knew it was like, I knew my friend was gonna watch it, so I'm like, okay, I need to make this perfect. It's her dream house. So that was probably why I spent so much time working on it. But okay, I found the text message with everything that she wanted. She said, I want a pale yellow house, country house, with white frame and wraparound porch. I'd love a porch swing or a little table and chairs for lemonade, which I did fit the little chair and tables for lemonade, and it's in the screenshots. I made sure the lemonade and the chairs on the front porch were in the screenshots. What else? Lots of bushes and greenery, which I got that. The backyard, now that I think about it, I don't know if I like did that well of a job with the backyard and the greenery and the bushes, but she'll have to let me know. Very open kitchen. Okay, with lots of windows. I did that. Living room, cozy and inviting. You know what? I think it's a pretty cozy living room. It's very inviting. With neutral colors and plants. Did I put plants in the living room? I think so. But there are neutral colors. 4 bedrooms. Check, with a double check, because the study could easily be turned. No, wait. She wanted a library, so I can't count the library as a bedroom because that's its own separate entity. 4 bedrooms with a Jack and Jill bedroom connecting to 2 kids' bedrooms. that's done. And the kids' bathroom is so cute. I use the like shower curtain with the, why can't I think of it? With the whales, like from the family pack. What's the family pack called? I can't think of it. I should really like write down a list of all the Sims packs, because like when I'm recording this and just talking to you guys, I can't remember on the spot what it is, and then I just sound stupid, but I always sound stupid, so who am I trying to kid? Let's see, where else did I leave off? A really big master bedroom with lots of pillows on the bed and super cool fur rug. It's like an okay sized master bedroom. It's pretty big, I guess. Lots of pillows. That's debatable because you can't really fit pillows on top of the bed. And I did put the fur rug. If you add a library, that would be goals. Okay, I added a library, Brooklyn, you're good. So therefore, goals. And she said, big backyard, treehouse, pool, BBQ, have fun. And then she put a little heart emoji. Okay, so I can build a treehouse, but that would be very difficult, so I just didn't do it. Let's see, pool, check, BBQ, check. Actually, I put 2 pools. I put the little kiddie pool too, and some swings, because I was like, if she has kids, might as well have like fun outdoor kid activities. And I think she texted me some more, or she told me a few things in person because I was talking to her. Yeah, she just like texted me or told me in person a few things, or over the phone. And so this is what I did. Brooklyn, I hope you like it, because I spent quite a bit of time, and if you don't, it's okay, I totally understand. But this house, Brooke, I'm telling you, this house is a house I would definitely play with my Sims in, because it's so big, it's so spacious, and you guys, this could be found in the gallery by searching Big Family Home. I believe that's what I titled it. Big Classic Family Home, because it is a very classic house. And it's so nice and spacious. It's so nice and spacious. And I just love the library. And I don't think I got to the library yet. I wasn't really paying attention. I was reading the text message, to tell the truth. So I don't think I did the library yet, but the library, I added like a mirror to the back of the bookshelf so it makes the space look bigger. I got that idea from watching Sex and the City, actually, because in the Sex and the City movie, when Carrie's doing her like photo shoot for the Golden Age, I believe that's what it's called, the Golden Age, whatever the photo shoot was for her wedding, Miranda got a text message from Samantha of like Carrie in her wedding dress, and behind Miranda she has her bookshelves with all her like lawyer stuff, because she's a lawyer, and her bookshelves had mirrors. And since I watched that, I was like, I'm doing that for every single bookshelf, at least with this bookshelf, the bookshelves that I used in the closet, the bookshelves that I used in the library. What am I even saying right now? This is why my videos are like a huge jumbled up mess, because I don't like edit anything out when I talk. I just sound stupid. But you know what? I hope I find like a nice target audience that likes the way I talk, and we'll see. I have a nice little fan base. I like it. I like you guys. You guys are cool. You guys are cool kids. I'm just filling up time right now. Well, yeah. I have another like 13 minutes to talk to you guys. But I just finished Thanksgiving, so when I'm recording this, it's Friday after Thanksgiving. How was your guys' Thanksgivings? I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Mine was, you know what, it was, how would I call it? How would I describe it, not call it? I want to say it was very routine. My Thanksgiving this year was very routine. Like, my mother cooked, grandma came over. It's my first year without my grandpa around. Weirdly, my grandma didn't cry as much as I thought she would, because every single time I see her, no joke, every single time since he died, she cries. Every single time. So, yeah, it was very routine. My grandma came over, she ate, and then for some reason my grandma doesn't want to leave the house for too long, so she finished eating. She was like, okay, time to go, I need to go. And I felt super awful because her caretaker spends time all day with my grandma. Like Monday through Friday, all day, because she lives with my grandma. My grandma does not leave the house, so the caretaker does not leave the house. And the caretaker finally gets to see her family on Thanksgiving. And so like I left the caretaker at her house, and my grandma came to eat with us. Like 2.5 hours later, my grandma's like, "Okay, it's time to go, I want to go home." So we had to call the caretaker, pull her away from her family that she doesn't see that often because she's living with my grandma, and like tell her, "Hey, you have to stop hanging out with your family because grandma wants to come back home." And so like we brought her home to take care of my grandma, and I felt so awful. I told my parents, "No, don't do that to the caretaker because the caretaker doesn't deserve it." The amount of drama my grandma and the caretaker cause is ridiculous. And you know what? I love it. I constantly tell my friends, like my close friends, all the tea, and then my grandma, or all the tea about my grandma and the caretaker. Sometimes I like talk and I get too excited to talk to you guys that I just like, I don't even know. It doesn't make sense. It becomes one jumbled mess. But where was I? Oh yes, the caretaker and my grandma. They are the most ridiculous women ever. So you would think that the caretaker would have to be younger than the old person that they're taking care of. That is false. That is a lie, because my grandma's caretaker is surprisingly older than my grandma. But unlike my grandma, who is, I don't want to say lazy, but lazy, who doesn't want to leave the house, who doesn't exercise, who does not eat right, who needs to eat salt, but doesn't want to eat salt, and needs to drink water because she's constantly dehydrated, but doesn't want to drink water. My grandma's caretaker is so much better than she is. Like, she eats right, she exercises, and she actually knows how to use, like, the phone, which my grandma knows how to use the phone if it's to call my house, my mom, her sisters, and that's it. Like, she does not know how to dial on 911. When my grandfather passed away, my grandma called my house to ask me to come over to her house to call 911. Yeah. My grandparents are like really behind. Oh, this is the library I was talking about, so you're gonna watch me put in the mirrors soon. And I also put a little like globe. Here we go. I'm putting in the mirrors so the mirrors make the space look so much nicer. I feel like it adds a little like edge, and I just love it. But sorry, I just wanted to talk about the mirrors really quick. Yeah, my grandma and her caretaker are so funny because my grandma makes her caretaker cry all the time, and the caretaker makes my grandma cry all the time. I'm never really around, and when I'm around, they're very civilized, but my mom, since she goes to my grandma's house every day, tells me all, like, the gossip. She's like, "Okay, so today, the caretaker made grandma cry because grandma didn't want to eat food, so the caretaker, like, forced her to sit down and eat food." Or, okay, that sometimes happens. And, like, my grandma's so, like, I don't want to say rigid. She's not, like, a mean person, but she's just old, so she's just like, she's ready to pass away, basically. She says that all the time. She's like, she told me the other day, "I'm not gonna make it to your wedding." And I told her, "Yeah, you probably won't," but not because, like, yeah, you're gonna die soon, but because it's so hard for me to, like, find anyone to date long term. I told her that, and I'm like, it's so much harder for me to, like, find somebody to date. It's so hard. É bem difícil, I told her, because she only speaks Portuguese. I hope I didn't hurt her feelings when I told her, "Yeah, you're not gonna make it to my wedding." Yeah. But, so yeah, the caretaker will make food and, like, put it in front of my grandma, and she's like, "Hey, eat," and my grandma won't eat, so it becomes really frustrating for the caretaker, who's, you know, it's her job to take care of my grandma and make sure she's fed and everything. And then my grandma's just like, she's just doesn't want to do anything. She's very, I don't even know, like, the English word for it. I only know, like, a Portuguese word for, like, stubborn. There you go, stubborn. She's very stubborn. My grandma's, I love her, but she's so stubborn. She wants to sleep all day. Like, she just wants to spend all day in bed, which anyone can tell you that's not, like, good for a person. You need to be up, you need to exercise, you need to, like, eat healthy. That's not what my grandma does. But, yeah, like, my grandma, since she only speaks Portuguese, but the caretaker speaks both English and Portuguese, if the caretaker talks to my mom in English, grandma will freak out and be like, "You're talking shit about me behind my back." And it becomes so funny, because I'm like, no, the caretaker is, like, really, at least from what I've noticed, is very sweet. She does have, like, a sassy attitude, but to be honest, Portuguese people have a very, like, sassy demeanor. Like, all of them. It's very... that's why I don't like going to the Azores, because everyone there is just, like, kind of rude, but that's just the way they speak to each other. So, like, when I come over, they'll, like, slightly talk shit about each other to me, but I'm like, it's also just normal for them. Like, the other day, yesterday, when I went to go pick up my grandma for Thanksgiving, and the caretaker was trying to lock the door, and my grandma was already getting out of the car. Or getting in the car, not out of the car. Getting in the car. And the caretaker looks to me and she goes, "Your grandma would leave me behind if she could." And I was like, damn. And I told her, yeah, me too, because I wasn't even in the car yet, but my grandma was getting in. And my grandma complains that she has all these, like, problems, and she can't walk, and this, that, and the other. Like, you make a list, she complains about all of it. And so the caretaker was like, watch your grandma. She's getting in the car all by herself. She's like, sometimes she picks and chooses when she wants to be sick. And I was like, stop telling me this, because now I have to make a YouTube video about it. Oh my god, if my parents found out that I was saying all this stuff and spilling this tea everywhere, they'd be so mad. They've told me to stop, like, spewing the family gossip online, but I was like, no, because if I don't, then I have nothing to talk about. Yeah. But it's so funny. Like, I'm trying to think of other instances where my grandma and caretaker have, like, bumped heads and made each other cry. And it's like, these are, like, how old are they? They're, like, in their 80s. So they're, like, the opposite of the Golden Girls, because the Golden Girls are, like, happy and they're friends and they're really old. But these are, like, they're forced to live together, like, elderly women who, like, argue. I really wish I could make a TV show or put some cameras in my grandma's house to watch them, like, argue, because I feel like there'd be a lot of, like, arguing. But then I'd have to translate everything into English from Portuguese, and that sounds like it'd be a struggle. You know, it was a good idea for a minute. It would be my own personal TV show where I watch my grandma, like, bully her caretaker. I find this so amusing, but it's actually a really messed up situation. The caretaker told my mom, I don't need this. I don't need her. I'm really good at my job. I don't need to be here. I don't need to, like, deal with her. But she's still around, so I don't know what's going on. People ask me, why does your grandma need a caretaker like this who, like, she argues with? Why can't you just find another one? And I tell people it's because she's Portuguese. That's the only reason my parents hired this caretaker, is because the caretaker is Portuguese and my grandma only speaks Portuguese. And the thing is, this caretaker does not have a car. This caretaker cannot drive anywhere, so she just, like, stays home with my grandma all day. It's not like she can go pick up my grandma's medication or anything, which would be so good and useful. It'd be so useful if she could do that, but no, she's stuck with my grandma 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. And on the weekends she goes to hang out with her family, so she does have, like, weekends off. But yeah, I believe, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure my mother told me that my grandma now sleepwalks. Which is so funny, because the caretaker has found my grandma, like, watching her sleep in the middle of the night. Which I think is so, like, this is just a really messed up scenario, but I just find it so funny. You guys are probably like, whoa, DillysSims, you're such a weirdo. But I find it so funny. Like, I want this to be a TV show. Like, I don't care any form of, like, TV show, either it be an online TV show where it's constantly live streamed or something, or I don't know, but I want it to be a TV show. Oh, and this caretaker has been living with my grandma for, let's see, my grandpa died in June, July, August, September, October, November, like 5 months. And for some reason, like, they live together, again, 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. My grandma does not know her caretaker's name. She does not like her caretaker at all. Like, at all. And it's so funny. Oh my god. I'm laughing so hard because I think it's the dumbest situation ever. It's so stupid. She doesn't like her caretaker. Her caretaker is just, like, super stressed out with her and, like, aggravated because my grandma's, like, such a stubborn woman. And so, like, ugh. But I love it. I'm finding it so funny. Again, my parents would freak out if they knew that I was spilling this tea online. Oh my god, Brooke, if you're watching this, because I know you're gonna watch this, I hope you enjoy this story, because my grandma stories are the best. Because she's just, like, ridiculous. I wonder, do I have any other stories of, like, my grandma and her caretaker fighting and stuff? I really want them to get into, like, an actual physical altercation. That sounds really messed up, but I mean, they're already, like, verbally abusive towards each other. And I want somebody to film it, too. Because, again, these are, like, 80-year-old women who, like, one of them supposedly can't move around, but when there's other people around, she's all of a sudden better. At least that's what the caretaker tells my mom. She's like, oh yeah, she's in so much pain and stuff, but when somebody comes around, all of a sudden she's feeling a lot better. Yeah, my grandma, she's just a drama queen, and it makes sense because my dad's a drama queen, and I'm a drama queen, so my dad learned from my grandma and grandpa, because my grandpa was a drama queen too, to be, like, dramatic. And then I learned from my dad how to be dramatic, and so did my sister, so I wonder if my kids will also be dramatic. I don't know, we'll have to see and find out. For sure. Oh, the front yard is, like, so beautiful. I spent quite a bit of time. I don't remember if I, like, cut it out. I think I did. Because I spent a lot of time, like, putting in flowers, painting the terrain. The backyard is immaculate. The backyard is so beautiful. I'm in love with the backyard. I really hope this is what Brooklyn had in mind when she, like, sent me her list. There are so many bushes, so green. Like, it's such a cute idea to have a house like this in the real world, but to keep it, like, well landscaped would take so much time. Like, you wouldn't be able to have a real job. Or maybe you would, but you would just be stressed out all the time because you're, like, juggling and trying to make everything happen in your life, like, make time for everything. Which I guess is what a real, like, housewife deals with. Yeah, I didn't have pictures for the back, or I didn't film the backyard. But that's okay. Here's screenshots. Let me know what you think of this build. If you like it, let me know in the comment section below. If you want to see any certain build or challenge be made, let me know in the comment section below. Again, this house can be found in the gallery by searching Big Classic Family Home, or by searching me, DillysSims, in the gallery. I forgot my outro. Oh my gosh. No, wait, it goes like this. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, do all those fun YouTube things, and I'll catch all of you guys next time. Bye, everybody.